Sorry about that, folks. The storage has all just been used up in my phone, so I'm just going to finish it off using my tablet, but the lighting really is nowhere near as good, the picture quality is nowhere near as good, and as I don't have a laptop, I have no editing software whatsoever to kind of put it together. So this is going to be a part two, but it is going to be a brief part two. So I was giving out some pod love and I was talking about Susan from the One More Row podcast, who I've spoken about before, and if you're not watching her podcast, then you really should, because she is such a natural and so talented. But she went on a road trip for her most recent episode, which I think might be episode 4, and she managed to bag an interview with Caitlin French. And my goodness, I was just blown away. I was proper fangirling. I'm just so excited, couldn't get enough of it. And Caitlin French, who is extremely talented designer, but her laugh, she has got the most fantastic laugh I think I've ever heard, just so infectious, and oh goodness, I would just love to spend some time with her. Just wow. So fantastic, well done Susan on that one. I just absolutely adored watching the both of you. There's another couple of podcasts that I have added to my subscription feed, and one that I meant to tell you about before was it's done by Shadow Designs, and it's called What Shadow Made, and it's another Australian knitting podcast. She does sewing and all sorts of bits and pieces as well, so worth giving her a check out. And the Knitting Jedi, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me at the minute, but he is the husband of the Canadian knitter. So there you go, what a short small world that we live in. Now there's one more thing that I kind of wanted to go over with you as well, so if you have hung on for this long, then well done you guys. As I said at the beginning of my podcast, happy Independence Day to any Americans who are celebrating. And as I said, in the UK for the last sort of 5 years or so, there has been a movement for Happy Independence Day for the independent businesses and such. So I had a wee look at the stock that I carry and thought it would be nice to do another sort of giveaway. I know I don't do them often. There are reasons for that. I am a fledgling small business. I am not running into profit yet. And I don't particularly agree with some of these podcasts. I know that some people get donated a lot of things to give away, and that's lovely, and some sort of makers use that as a platform to get their stuff out there more, and that's fine. But I think that some people kind of use it in the way that clickbait is used on social media, for going just like me, subscribe me, and some people just purely do it for the giveaways, and I don't think that's right. I'm investing my time just because I like talking to you and I want to be part of the community. And I would hope that that's the reason that most of you are here as well. So I won't be doing giveaways as often as other people do, because it is out of my pocket when I'm not actually bringing in money for myself yet. So I'll do as what I can, as and when I can, and I am donating prizes to other podcasts as well. So I'm just trying to make it as fair as I possibly can. But that said, Independence Day, and I'm almost coming up for my first 3,000 views on YouTube. So I thought it might be nice to mark it in some way. So what I have here are 2 skeins of double knitting, and this is Natural Yarn Company wool, and I really don't think, I don't know, maybe the lighting is actually picking up the kind of the shade. It is kind of like a dark kind of forest green. I would have said sort of like a forest sort of gorse green. So this is the Natural Yarn Company, who are based in Bradford, or rather that's where the mills are, in Bradford. It is 100% pure wool. They're from the same dye lot, and yeah, it's got recommended needle sizes and such on it. It's 50 grams per skein, but it doesn't actually tell you what the yardage or meterage is on them. But what I love about the Natural Yarn Company is that they work in conjunction with organisations like English National Heritage and trusts like that. So for basically for sort of conservation, they do conservation land management. So for a lot of these places you can't bring in petrol lawn mowers or all the rest of it. So what they do is they bring in flocks of sheep. And sometimes these sheep go about from place to place and graze the land, and it's like natural land management conservation, which I just think is the best thing ever. So these sheep are not for the market, they're not destined for your dinner plate, but they have to be sheared because, you know, sort of like you know, animal welfare and such. So what they do is they then kind of market this wool, and the money partly kind of goes back, and I love that ethic. So they've got 2 skeins of this, so this will be enough to do, you know, a hat or whatever. It'll be something nice in it, and maybe a wee pair of wristlets or whatever. And I'm going to give you a little stitch marker that I've made as well. So this is from an upcycle bracelet as well. It's like a faux mother of pearl leaf and a little bead there, and I've kind of put it on a lobster clasp so you can have it as a progress keeper as well, should you choose to. So we obviously, I'm going to send this out. You can be wherever you want worldwide. I'll pop in some tea bags as well, as long as customs allow that. What I wanted to say, and I've been meaning to say for a while though, is that I know I've got at least one regular viewer who is strict vegan, so she will not work with animal fibres at all, and I completely respect that. There may be other members of you out there who are vegetarian, vegan, and I do like to add in little extra bits and pieces whenever I do like a swap package, or I send something away or as a giveaway or whatever. So I would say go and, if you want to take part in the giveaways, go and take part. If it turns out that you win and you're vegetarian or vegan, then in a private message let me know. I'm more than happy to kind of substitute the prize, whether that's the yarn that I'm giving away, you know, or, you know, maybe not put in some chocolate, or go and source something that is specific. You know, if you've got special dietary requirements or whatever, then, you know, let me know, because I wouldn't like to give you a prize that you then can't use or whatever. It's a bit unfair, and I don't want to exclude anybody, because this is very much an inclusive podcast. I do feel just in the world at large these days there's just too many factions fighting against one another. So yeah, don't let that be a barrier for you taking part if you want to. So for this one, I am going to have a prompt. So usual rules apply. You need to be subscribed to the channel. You need to be a member of the Ravelry group as well. And I want to know how many of you are tattooed. Bit random. Like, you know, I recently got tattoo number 4 done. I'm planning number 5 already. I forgot just how much I absolutely love being tattooed and getting artwork on my body. Katie number 23 just put in a recent podcast about her tattoos, and I just not what would have thought of her as being the tattoo type, and that's nothing against the way she can present herself or whatever. I could not imagine that she had 2 tattoos, never mind the ones that she's actually got, which are pretty big. And yeah, Eric from Sticks Plus Twine recently, I saw he's now in summer hours, so he had his big jumper off, and he had an upper arm tattoo, which I'm going to have to ask what it is. And I just thought, oh, because I know a lot of you out there are kind of like subculture, different culture, we've got different coloured hairs, we've got piercings, we've got tattoos, and I was interested. Share pictures if you want in the thread, although you don't have to. But yeah, I'm interested to see what permanent works of art you have on your body. If you don't, then say that you don't. Again, don't let it be a barrier. This is not a competition purely for tattoo people. So all that remains really... Oh no, there's a little bit more. Sorry. I don't have, beyond Persia Open Studios, I don't really have any events planned at the minute. I'm just so much going on, like I've said. so I do need to just kind of take a wee bit of time for R&R and to be focusing more on things that I need to focus on. Pressure Open Studios starts on the 3rd of September, but I'll update you with that, all those dates a bit closer to the time. But this is the big bit of news that I've been going on about, is the Perth Festival of Yarn, which is taking place at the Salutation Hotel in Perth on the 2nd of October this year. We do have a Facebook page now. Details will be going up in Ravelry in the near future, but please go show the page a wee bit of support. As we're getting confirmation from the vendors that will be there, we are sharing their work on that page. Go give them some love, go like the page, go share the page. We really do need your support. If this event is well attended, well supported, then it will be able to be an annual event. We don't have a logo at the minute. It's with the graphic designer that I tend to work with for my logos and such. So he is coming up with some brilliant ideas based on my design brief. So it is just a photograph of independently dyed yarns at the moment. But yeah, do get in touch. And the same thing, as I've said before, if I've not already been in touch with you and you are a dyer, an independent dyer or farmer or some sort of fibre related person based in the UK or further if you want to, then, you know, please do, I've not been in touch already, get in touch, let me know. We do have a few stalls still available and it's going to be epic. Really looking forward to seeing all the vendors there, hopefully lots of you, and yeah, let's get it on the calendar. Let's make it a really positive thing for our independent yarn dyeing community. So all that remains now really is for me to wish you happiness like I always do. Happy knitting, happy crochet, happy spinning, happy sewing, happy whatever it is you do. Look after one another, be kind to yourself, and I will see you again in about another week's time. Bye.